Hello, this is YC, and today I'm going to be playing a Jeskai Stoneforge Mystic deck. I'm going to be playing it in the modern practice lobby as I try to settle on a final deck list. As you know, Underworld Breach got banned today, and I'm going to be studying the meta to see how it adjusts. My current iteration of this deck plays 4 copies of Stoneforge Mystic along with Cadre Complete, Cryptic Coat, and Assimilation Aegis. Normal Stoneforge Mystic players like to play the Batter Skull in the main board, but I've elected to put it in the sideboard. And the reason for that is because I'm starting Assimilation Aegis. Now, what this card does, it allows me to win games that Batter Skull could never. For example, this card, when it enters, whether you cast it or flash it in with Stoneforge Mystic, it allows you to exile a creature. And if you can attach this card to one of your creatures, it becomes a copy of the exiled creature. So, for example, I have won games before by exiling a Psychic Frog, a Primeval Titan, and or even a Big Odrazi, and was able to untap, equip, and win on the turn, on that same turn, where Batterskull could not do that. Okay, as far as interaction, I have a Lightning Bolt, 4 Normalize, 2 copies of Flage, 2 copies of Teferi, Time Raveler, 4 copies of Solitude, and 4 copies of Prismatic Ending. Um, I'm playing Normalize over Counterspell because it's a little easier on the pips. Like going blue blue is harder than going white blue, especially when this deck wants to fetch basics as when you can, and having double blue blue doesn't cast Flage. So another benefit of Normalize is that if it counters a spell, it exiles the spell instead of it hitting the graveyard, which could be relevant in some matchups. Um, it also pitches to Solitude if you needed to. Um, so I think it's a very versatile card for what our deck is trying to do. We also have 3 copies of Ragavant and a Tamio as kind of early game threats. To kind of shape our hand and to kind of bring it together, we have 4 copies of Preordain and 4 copies of Expressive Iteration. This card is, I think, the best uh, blue-red card for this style of mid-range deck. This is great. This shapes your hand. It gives you card advantage. This is one of my favorite cards to cast in this deck. In the sideboard, I have 4 copies of Consigna Memory. That's pretty standard for blue mages to fight against the Eldrazi matchup. I have 2 copies of Rest in Peace and 2 copies of Celestial Purge, a copy of Supreme Verdict for creature decks, 2 copies of Wear and Tears, and 3 copies of March of Otherworldly Light. Um, I think one of our biggest headaches in this deck that this deck can face is Urza Saga decks. So I kind of want to ramp up my 1 mana interaction against Urza Saga between Wear and Tears and March. And then of course I have that Batter Skull in the sideboard. Comes in against aggressive decks and more grindier matchups. Like I said, I'm going to be recording some videos in the practice lobby. Um, gonna try to fine tune my deck to try to enter a tournament or even the 5 round modern league. But um, other than that, I will see you in game number one. All right, game number one, we found an opponent and we won the Dyro. This hand has land and some interaction and a Stoneforge Mystic. I'm gonna go ahead and keep. I'm going to play a Scalding Tarn in case we have to boat something end of turn. All right, this looks like Merfolk. I'm going to shock in a Steam Vent so I can lightning bolt this. You kind of want to get Merfolk players usually play Flare Denial, so you really want to get rid of any of their dorky Merfolk. Here, I'm just going to go ahead and cast the Stoneforge Mystic. They might have counter magic, solitude maybe, something. They usually play. They're usually like tempo oriented. Here I think I'm gonna grab the. I think I'm gonna grab Kadra, and this puts a lot of pressure on them to um kill the Stoneforge Mystic somehow, or make this Hollow Fountain into an island so I can't tap for white. But that would be okay because I can still cast Expressive Iteration. All right. If I draw a land, I'm going to try to remove this Mindspring Merfolk. Okay, see, I drew a land. All right, so I will play Scalding Torrent and cast Prismatic Ending on this. And I'll play a Sacred Foundry, so I'm not completely off my colors. Now, they could dismember this Germ token and it'll kill it. Dismember and exile effects are some of the few ways you can get rid of this Germ. All right, it looks like the opponent took it. They can also disable it. There's some Merfolk that can disable it. Okay. That's a little unfortunate, but that's okay. Solitude is absolutely great at clearing this. So what we're gonna do is attack first. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and clear it now, or attempt to clear it now. The only thing they can do here is subtlety or the flare denial, which I think it could be a flare denial here. I don't see why they would though. But if this lands and I can clear this Harbinger, we can sit pretty behind this normalize. Yeah, this is a lot of pressure for the opponent. Solitude was a great draw. Okay, Solitude hits. I still think they have a Flare Denial in their hand. I'm tempted to play this Expressive Iteration looking for a land. Uh, I think it's not worth it right now. We'll just play with Normalize up. Mutavault. Okay, opponent's gonna pass. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and try to attack again. Uh, they can have several little flashy dorks that come in to stop this, or they can bounce it with. Okay. Yeah. I think I'm gonna normalize that. So let's go blue, white. Hopefully, if they have another counter spell, that's fine, because they just 2-4-1 this. Okay, that's fine. So we got rid of 1, 2, 3 cards for this normalize, and I get counter complete goes back to my hand, and that's fine. They exiled a flare denial. See, I kind of knew they had it, and it was very important to get rid of these little dorky merfolk that don't do anything. They just fuel this flare denial. So opponent has 2 cards in hand. Um, yeah, they're gonna try to maybe take me off white or red with this. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, they want to come in for combat. That's okay too. I'm gonna win this race. Okay, Arena of Glory is great too. Let's start with Express Federation. We know we can flash in this cadre complete. All right, so this is all just land. Um, I'm gonna bottom. I lied. Let's let's put the Triumph in hand, bottom the Elegant Parlor, and then I'll play this and grab a planes. I want to grab a planes with this, and then we're going to bring in the counter again. It was unfortunate that Express Federation only drew me lands, but that's okay because it's 3 lands off the top that are not there no more, and I gotta shuffle with these Flooded Strand. Okay, this is a lot of pressure now. This is 6 damage. Okay, Flooded Strand is not a good draw. So what can I do here? I uh have red, 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 red. I can haste that. Hmm. I can go. Yeah, I think I like that. Okay, so let's go Arena of Glory. Uh, a white and cast this Stoneforge Mystic. Yeah. We're gonna grab this Assimilation Aegis, and we're going to attempt to cast it and get rid of the Lord of Atlantis. They need to have a flare denial here. Okay, that's game. See how Assimilation Aegis let me just win this. If this was Batter Skull, I could not have won the game right now. So now I can attack for exactly 7 with the help of the Arena of Glory. And we won game 1 off the back of this Assimilation Aegis. Again, this card won me the game. And granted, Batter Skull could have gained me some life, but the Lord of Atlantis make their fish kind of unblockable because of Island Walk. All right, let's get into the next game. I'm sorry, into the sideboard games. Um, I think I want to play some copies of Wear and Tears because they are usually on the vial. Hmm, Aether vial. But let's see. I think this might be fine. I don't like the Ragavans, and the Tameo is the Tameo's not that good either. Maybe the Tommy is okay. They're gonna have Caverner Souls too for Normalize, so Normalize may also not be good. I think I'm definitely gonna bring in the Supreme Verdict. I have 2 more cards to bring in. The Batter Skull and 1 March, something like this. This also gets the Mutavault because it's an artifact. Yeah, let's bring one of these in and let's go like that. All right, this hand is pretty slow, but I think I'm gonna keep. I have mana. I can pitch a Solitude if I need it. I have fetch lands. We'll be okay. Okay, so I want to fetch on turn 1. If I don't draw a 1 drop, I'm gonna use Scalding Tarn to grab my uh, Triumph and then fetch Plains and Mountain or Plains and Mountain for their Harbinger. Okay, that's fine. Okay, we have an island there. That's okay. I'm gonna play this fetch. Okay, they paid. All right. They have a lot of they have a lot of dorks. So any spell I play can be flare denied. So I think what I want to do here is play my other fetch. Hopefully I can get a plains with this. Okay, I'm okay with this. Opponent's probably sitting on counter magic, so I'm going to exile one of these Teferis. and try to exile this Tide Shaper. I'll pass the turn. All right, we'll play a island, and we'll play a Teferi. This should draw out a counter spell. They should flare force unless they have a hard counter. Okay, so they elected to play that. I'm just gonna bounce this because it costs the most mana, and that's fine. The fairy will save me some life here. A point of damage. I'm just gonna yield my turn here because I can't do anything. They have their third land. Okay. We're almost to Solitude mana actually, so I think what I'm gonna do is yeah, we're just gonna play Expressive Iteration. If they want to counter this, that's fine. Okay, so we'll definitely put the Solitude in hand. Let's see, hold on. So I don't have Normalize up this turn unless I play the Steam Vent. So I'm gonna put the I'm gonna put the Normalize in my hand, bottom the Sacred Foundry, put this like that, play this, shock, and then end the turn. If they play something here, I can Solitude. That's fine. That's okay. We're one turn away from Solitude. We know they at least have a 2 mana Merfolk Dork. They just have so many cards here. Okay, I'm just gonna play Batterskull. This could be a counter. Yeah, we're kind of soft to these little one drop dorks. Maybe it's correct to play more of these marches. Yeah, they're gonna tap this down. probably do this one right here. Okay, sure. All right. I may be dead. Um, I need a supreme verdict. Let's see if we find it. All right, we're at the bottom. Supreme verdict. No, another solitude, which isn't bad. Um, we're gonna flash evoke and get rid of this thing. All right, we are at the mercy of the opponent. We're pretty low. Uh, if we untap, we have a chance to stabilize with some lifelink, but well, we could just be dead here. It might be correct to add these other two marches to get rid of these dorks. You have another one drop. Okay, that's game. All right, game number 3. Uh, we are bringing in getting rid of the wear and tear, bringing in the march, and we're gonna trim on the expressive iteration. Bring in another march. I think I want to play more aggressive. Play these Ragavans. They will at least trade for things. Um, yeah, I'm gonna go like this. All right, this hand is perfect. Okay, not perfect. I don't have a lot of mana, but hopefully Ragavan can do some work for us. Notably, the opponent is mulling down to 5 cards. I'm gonna lead on Sacred Foundry so that I have white mana for this other stuff here. So Sacred Foundry, Shock, play Ragavan. Cavernous Souls. Good thing I took out some of those Normalize. All right, we are going to shock this in and cast this on that. If you want to force, that's fine. If they have a 1-drop creature, I'm going to cast it with my treasure. Okay, I'm okay with that. All right, let's lead on Expressive Iteration. I think I like the Teferi. Put this down. Put this on top, and we will attack. They might block here as a removal. They did not. Oh, Tiebinder. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna play my Teferi and bounce this thing. All right. I'm going to attack. They will probably trade here. They do not trade. Um, Harbinger. Is that good? I only have one plane. I don't have a mountain yet. But I do have treasure. I think I'm gonna lead on Stoneforge Mystic. And I'm gonna grab a Cryptocoat and play this Thundering Fall. And I'll graveyard that. I guess. Okay. Oops. Let me undo. Okay, I'll pass here. This could be a Dismember. Yeah. Okay, that's fair. That's fine. The fairy's down. Okay, we're just gonna keep attacking with the monkey. Flare denial. Okay. Let's start with playing a Cryptocoat. I'm gonna preordain. Uh, yeah, we'll just. I think we can just put one on the bottom, put one on top. Play this land and pass the turn. We have the ability to bounce this if we need to, but we also have the ability to play Kadra if we draw a land. This might not be an attack here. Oh, okay, very well. Actually, I think we can win here, I think. We have a mountain. Let's go cast Flage. This probably warrants a counterspell or a flare or something. And then we will return it. So white, yeah, opponent concedes. Okay, that was a good game. Um, I think the correct call to on the play was to bring in the monkeys, and uh, the monkeys stole the show, and then Flage kind of cleaned up shop. Kind of unfortunate that the opponent was stuck on 2 lands, but they play a bunch of free counter spells, and I don't feel bad for them. They're super hyper aggressive. They try to mess with your mana base with Harbinger, so we take those. Uh, let's go to game number 2. All right, we're here with our second game. We have lost the die roll, and our hand is a little slow with these 2 tap lands, but I think we should always lead with turn 1 monkey. So we're going to keep this hand. All right, opponent opens up with forest, and this looks like Titan. This monkey's not going to look as good unless I can remove it. Remove the arboreal grazer. I don't know if I like this matchup or not. We will see. It always feels bad using removal on this thing. Yeah, this is gonna be absolutely tough with this hand, especially being on the draw with this. I can't even attack through this Dryad. Uh, Again, that was not a good draw. We're gonna put that on top. We might just be dead here. This deck is super consistent, super fast. We might see a turn 3 Titan, and I have tap lands. Yeah, this creature kind of stonewalls these Ragavans, and it's the reason why I probably will take him out for sideboard games. This is 5 mana here. They're going to attack with a Dryad. They might not, because they might be afraid of Lightning Bolt. Unfortunately, I have to take 2. Opponent's thinking. Okay. This is a tough matchup, especially with this hand. I don't know if I can beat this. Okay, I'm drawing a Prismatic Ending. I can try to get a point of a Ragavan hit in. So let's try ending that. All right, we connected the Ragavan, and we are going to play our Triumph tapped and then hold up Normalize. They're 1 mana away from Primeval Titan, but if they just play land Primeval Titan and I can normalize it, that will be the start of a comeback. This does not look like. Okay, so they have 3 mana left. I can't do that. This deck is pretty hard to beat. It this mills lands, and then you can pay 4 to bring all lands from the graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Like this this deck requires graveyard hate, artifact hate, land hate. This deck's really good. It's probably top 2 decks in the format. And I can't even counter this because they have 3 mana up. That's like one of the downsides of normalize. Uh, what I will do here is, depending on what I draw, another normalize. Okay, I'm gonna play uh, Flage, kill this, hopefully connect with the Ragavan, and then hold up normalize in case they have a Titan. So we have a line. So yeah, let's Flage here. Hopefully we can connect again with Ragavan. And this normalize can carry us if they play Titan next turn on just 6 mana. They already have 1 Titan gone. Ooh, okay. Okay. We're gonna pass. Okay, this is 6 mana here. Are we on Titan? Okay, this will be a Titan. And Summoner's Pack is going to tax their mana next turn. All right, let's normalize this. All right, 2 Titans down, 2 to go. Huge. We won game 1. And unfortunately the opponent conceded the whole game. Um they didn't like that, I guess. In the in game number 2, the way we would have sideboarded was I would have brought in the marches and the wear and tears for okay, so March can for 1 mana kill the Urza Saga. Even before the first trigger, you put the first counter on there. Before you can tap for mana, you can pay 1 with March and exile it. Additionally, I would have brought in the wear and tears because they do play Amulet of Vigor and Disenchantment and Disenchantment and this is an enchantment. So these wear and tears would do some work. So I think in the sideboard games, I think I would have been able to combat some of this stuff, but our opponent decided to pack it in and concede the whole match. I don't think he was having fun, but I mean, I was stuck on 3 mana, very slow mana, and this Ragavan was doing some work. So let's find our third opponent. All right, we have found our third opponent and we are on the play. This hand has a Preordain into Stoneforge Mystic into a Teferi Time Raveler. This is a good hand I'm going to keep. What I like to do here is I like to always, if I had like the perfect combination of land drops, it'd be fetch into Steam Vent into Basic Plane is what I like doing. So here I'm just going to play the Steam Vent and play Preordain. Looking for any cheap interaction or solitude, something like that. Um, Second, Stoneforge isn't good. I'm gonna bottom both. Okay, ending's good too. All right. Maybe this is Prowess or Burn. I think I'm going to. So I'm gonna fetch Plains with this, Island with this one. Until I know I could just kill this, but I think I'm going to just play Stoneforge Mystic because I want to use my mana efficiently. And if they're going to kill this, they're going to waste a burn spell on this, which is okay. Here, this is where having Batter Skull is good, but that's okay. I'm going to grab the Cryptic Coat because it's 3 mana to play to put creatures on the board. Next turn, I could play Teferi Bounce, or uh, kill the Soulscar Mage with the Prismatic Ending, or we'll see what our opponent does. He's got a yield turn. I don't know possible plays here. Yeah, so this would be, if this was Batter Skull, it would be better. However, as you saw in game number one, this card won me the game. So take some, you lose some, we win some. Opponent's thinking here. I don't know what flavor of Prowess or Burn this is. Um, I don't think Burn typically plays Soulscar Mage. This is more of a Prowess deck. They play like cantrips, like Metamorphose or Gut Shot or Mutagenic Growth. But let's see what the opponent's on. Opponent's taking a little bit of time to think, so I'm going to pause the video and unpause it when he makes a move. All right, opponent plays his land and a Monastery Swiftspear. And this looks like a Lightning Bolt on Stoneforge Mystic, which is fine. I'm going to take 4 damage here down to 13. Okay, so here, um, here I'm going to, hmm, I am going to start by removing the Swift Spear. And then I'm going to play this Flooded Strand and hopefully normalize something. I'm going to have to fetch another Plains um, so that I don't take too much damage. But when I do that, next turn I have Teferi that can bounce this. Let's see what this is, 2 mana. Okay, so this is, uh, if I counter this, this would just be 3 mana. So, I'm sorry, this would just be 3 damage. And it stops their chain right here. So I'm going to counter that. Now they had to have a land and another play to do more damage to me, but this stops a chain from going off, these prowess triggers from going off. Now next turn, I can't play Expressive Iteration yet because of the way I fetched, but I can remove the Soulscar Mage with the Aegis or bounce it with Teferi, which I probably will bounce with Teferi to draw a card. Hopefully they don't have a third land here. That's fine. That means their hand is maybe more cantrips or burn spells, but I'll take 2 here. And okay, Tidal Fountain tapped here is fine. Let's play Teferi, and we're gonna bounce the Soul Scarred Mage. This doesn't have haste, so they have to point a burn spell at Teferi. Monkey's good too. Well, not necessarily, but it could be. Next turn I could play the Aegis to remove their Soul Scar Mage and then play a Monkey. And this could be a burn spell on Teferi. Okay, it's a Lava Dart. That's fair. This makes this Ragavan a little bit worse. So I think what I'm going to do is yeah, let's remove the Soul Scar Mage and then play Ragavan. They can kill the Ragavan by flashbacking this Lava Dart, but they sacrifice a mountain. And then we'll play Monkey. Opponent still has a lot of cards in their hand. There's a third land. Another Soul Scar Mage. Okay, they sacrifice the land to kill the monkey. That's fair. Okay, now I have no choice but to play Iteration. We even drew a non-pain land. Okay, so I will put this in hand, this at the bottom, this on top, and we will play the Stoneforge Mystic. And the only equipment we have left is the Cowdra. But hopefully they point another burn spell at this, because it saves it from our face. Okay, this Metamorphose could be scary. Yeah, this card allows them to chain. Yes. We could be dead here too. Like there's a combination of this chain that kills us this turn. Oh, faceless looting. I wonder if this is a Phoenix deck. Oh, this is a Phoenix deck. Yeah, this is gonna come back and hit us. Yeah, and then we're gonna take 7 damage, 8 damage from this Phoenix. This is yeah, we're dead here, I think. Our only hope here is to draw Solitude. Yeah, we need Solitude right now. Um, that's not gonna work. So we are going to Expressive Iteration. We're looking for a Solitude at the bare minimum. Okay, so this can work, I guess. Um, I mean, we're just on garbage time here. Maybe we can survive one turn. I don't think so. I think we're cooked here. Yeah, that's why it was so crucial to normalize that first Metamorphose because they're just going off. Like this card is their best card in their deck. We're gonna graveyard that and we'll cast the Stoneforge. I don't have no more targets, and I don't want to shuffle because I just bottomed that land, and then we'll play Tameo as a blocker. Now, if they remove any of these creatures, I'm dead. And opponents at 20 life points. This is gonna be extremely difficult. They're gonna probably start with the Spaceless Looting. If they rebuy this, I think we can be okay as long as we draw a Solitude. If this is Burn Spell or okay, haste here doesn't necessarily kill us. All right, we're not necessarily dead. They need to have another something here. Okay. Yeah, we are dead here. What we can do is 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, then 4. I don't have enough. Okay, we're dead. Good games, opponent. This is a tough matchup. Um, so these are the best cards. Rest in Peace is a strategy, but it suppresses my Phlages, which I think is okay. All right, so the Ragavans are horrible against their 1 damage burn spell. Um, I don't like the assimilation Aegis. It doesn't really stop anything big. They do have a lot of 1 drops. Okay, so let's bring in. Do I want the rest in pieces? Teferi's okay at. Maybe Teferi's a little slow. Maybe the Teferis are slow. Maybe trim on the expressive iterations. Do something like that. Do they bring in any enchantments? I don't think so. We have enough removal. If we need to bring in additional wear and tears in, That's fine. I'm gonna submit like this. This is gonna be a tough matchup. This is a tough matchup. It's like hyper aggressive deck. This hand is, it's okay. We'll keep this. I don't think they play Blood Moon, to be honest. So we're gonna lead on, again, we want a blue-red land into basic planes. So we'll go here. This is a Prowess creature, that's fine. We're gonna get the Thundering Falls. And we'll keep that on top. It's removal. All right, we are going to fetch the basic planes here. And we're gonna pass the turn. We're gonna normalize if it comes up, or hold up march. Opponent's thinking. They must not have interaction. Fatus looting. That's fine. They dump the Phoenix. Okay, that's only one spell for this. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and remove it. If they want to play another one-drop creature, that's okay. Here, I'm going to play a Meticulous Archive. Still hold Normalize up or the other March. Stoneforge is fine. I think I'm going to play the Stoneforge because I'm going to grab the Batter Skull. I should have waited to play this. That's my mistake. I'm going to grab the Batter Skull, and I can pitch Solitude if needed in case of emergency. But I can race a Phoenix with Batter Skull or Solitude. This could be okay. That's fine. Okay, they wasted a lot of resources doing that, so I'm just going to exile March to Solitude. And then I have Normalize up next turn as we make our way up to Batter Skull mana. Okay, I do like a iteration, so let's go. Well, I want to cast that now. Yeah, because I want to maximize my chances of drawing our fifth land. If we get a fetch land here, it'd be great. We did not, so we'll put another Solitude in hand. Tameo at the bottom. Actually, we'll put a Prismatic Ending at the bottom. We don't need a Tameo. Apologize for that noise. Okay, this is fine. We need an untapped land here. It'll be great. Okay, not quite. That's unfortunate. We still have a normalize up. I didn't want to counter this because we're close to Solitude mana. If this is a Manamorphose, I'm normalizing it. Okay, that's fine. So they want a Blood Moon here. Uh, Normally that's scary, but I always prioritize getting these planes, and we have March and other ways to get rid of this. So we are going to normalize this. And unfortunately, we do take another 3 damage from this Slick Shot at minimum. But we are going to cast this Solitude. Okay, yeah. I'm even going to give it haste. So I can get a hidden. Even if they blood moon me next turn, I can still cast Batterskull with all red mana. Blood moon here would be scary, but again, I think this Batterskull can do a lot of damage. I'm glad I prioritized the planes on turn 2. Now that I know they play Blood Moon, I'll plan for it better. I don't think we need to bring in the wear and tears yet. Okay, a braid is fine. Mountain is good too. They could have another braid, but nothing else we can do. We need them to have it, you know. If they get rid of the Batterskull, we can preordain next turn. Hopefully, try to find more action. All right, there's nothing I can do here. I'm just gonna yield through the turn, try to save up my clock. My opponent's deck is aggressive, but I am trying to play as defensively as possible. Uh, Flage will Flage will be good. I think the Rest in Peace draw would be bad right now. This might be Manamorphose. Okay. Creatures are fine. This is probably good attack. Yeah. All right. I do like my position here being able to untap. I'm going to start with a Preordain. Looking for a Solitude. Looking for anything. Cryptic Coat. I don't think it's good enough. Um, so if I play, yeah, I think it's fine. Uh, let's start with the attack. right. I'll play that tapped. We're tied 14 all, and opponent is facing down a germ and a cryptocoat. Now, I could have shocked this Stevenson to have return battle scroll to hand mana up, but yeah, that was not good for me. I should have taken the shock there. Okay, we're not quite dead yet. That's fair. Okay, our opponent is doing maximum damage here. I am still gonna block with this. They're gonna sacrifice a land to do. We're almost dead here, and that's unfortunate because I should have shocked in the. Well, it probably would have killed me because they still did all this. All right, I'm gonna be down to 5. I'm gonna block. I have to block this Monastery Wolf Spear. All right. Unfortunately, I have to bounce this. Okay, our opponent is hellbent, so this is such a good draw. Okay, I think we just win here. So we are going to play red, red, and a white, and okay, so one more red, like this. So we'll go red, white, red. So this is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I think so. This is 6 damage there. So it'll be 6, 3 damage to 10. I return it back to 7. They'll be at 1. So I'm just going to kill their things. Yeah, I'm just going to kill their things. And we're going to cast Escape Flage with haste. If they're at 1 less life, I could have killed them this turn. Oh, you know what? I miscounted. Oh, I think I would have had them if I did damage to them. Okay, that's my fault. I could have won. I could have won this turn. But it may be good enough here. Yeah, it's good enough here. Okay, we win, and we'll be on game number 3. I'm not even going to show them the other prismatic ending. Okay, we won game number 2. Um, let's sideboard again. All right. Um, there's a chance on the draw. I don't want rest in peace. Uh, Flage was really good out of the graveyard, so let's bring in 1 wear and tear. And I guess we'll keep one rest in peace. I don't know. I kind of want to bring in a. No, I'll keep the one rest in peace in. Let's send like this. Okay, we have Blood Moon mana. Yeah, this is fine. I'm gonna keep this. And we have our Battle Scroll. So Score Mage. Okay. I'll lead on Plains. Remove this thing. Okay, a burn spell. Here I'm just going to play Island into Stoneforge Mystic, and I already have the Battle Scroll in hand, so I'm gonna grab the Cauldra to put pressure on them to make it think that I'm trying to kill them right away. Let's grab Cauldra, and we will pass. Okay, that's fine there. Okay, now we have Normalize up and Lightning Bolt. We have a lot of interaction at the moment. Okay, that's fine. Let's Surveil. Let's grab a Thundering Falls. Land on top is fine. We're trying to build up to Battle Scroll mana. All right, I'm going to lightning bolt that now. Play this tapped. Opponent has 3 cards in hand, 4 cards in hand. I'm going to normalize that. If we draw untapped land, we can play Battle Scroll. Okay, Cryptic Code is fine. We'll play it like this. They can shatter the Cryptic Code, which they might do here. This 2 mana. A Braid maybe. Okay, they're digging. That's good. They don't have their prowess creatures. So these Metamorphose chains are not as scary if they don't have prowess creatures. Okay, again, not that scary, but still they're looking at a lot of cards here. Okay. I have a prismatic ending for the Swift Spear. Uh, maybe they find Faithless Looting and they can bin some. Okay, they're targeting me. Yeah, I want them to sack a land, so I'm gonna block here. Okay, we traded. That's fine. This is good for blood moons. Okay, so I will. I have to pass here because I don't have another land. I can't bounce and replay, but that's okay. I'm representing counter spells, and the opponent already seen counter spells, normalize and stuff. All right. At the end step, I'm going to return this thing to my hand. Um, I think I'm going to go ahead and cast it again. I cloaked the March. Okay. It's past the turn. If they Blood Moon or they shatter it, that's fine. I mean, it's unfortunate that we didn't draw our fifth land yet, but fifth land means Batter Skull. This could be a Braid. Okay. We have a prismatic ending for this. They can do an additional 4 damage, additional 3 damage if they flashback that. Okay, so we have our next land. We are going to attack. It would be nice to see a Solitude up here. Iteration is... I'm going to graveyard that. I want better interaction. And we'll ending this. Okay, now we can protect our Cryptic Coat by having 2 mana available to return it to our hand. Opponent on 2 mana here. Okay, there's the Abrade. I will go ahead and save it. Okay, Stoneforge doesn't have any more targets. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the Batter Skull. Well, yeah, I'll play the Batter Skull to see if we can defeat our opponent's ego. Let's see if this crushes their soul. We can still lose to a hasted slick shot. Okay, Arlight Phoenix isn't too scary. We have the Celestial Purge for it. All right. Let's move to combat. I'm gonna play this Cryptic Coat. This should be um, more pressure on them, and we could lose with a slick shot show off. So I'm gonna keep this Celestial Purge up. I would keep taking 3 damage off of this. But you kind of see the strength of Crypticoat being able to protect itself by returning to hand. Now the opponent wasted, you know, mana trying to kill it, and here on their turn again they have this. They're facing down. They're facing down lethal here. That's 7, 8, 9. They might keep this Arclight Phoenix back. Okay, so this is the card I was talking about. This can this can do a lot of damage with this in the graveyard. So this puts me down to 9. This puts me down to 6. I don't think they're going to attack. Yeah, they have nothing else. We'll exile this, and this is game. This is GG's. All right, we'll go ahead and move to combat. And this is 9 damage here. Our opponent might scoop it up here. And we'll type GG's to the opponent if we can. All right, and that was the game. That was a nail biter there at the end. Um, Again, a lot of Stoneforge Mystic players like main decking the Batterskull, but I think it's perfectly fine in the sideboard. This deck the opponent has, Prowess, is very aggressive, and if I would have drawn at any point the rest in peace, it would have been kind of bad. I don't know if I want to keep rest in peace in against Arclight Phoenix decks. It's good, right? They can't flashback their um, faithless looting or the little burn spell, the little 1 mana burn spell by sacrificing a land. But I think it was worth. I don't know. I'm a. I think in the future against that kind of deck, I won't play Rest in Peace because I value Flage so much. I might even replace this with um, maybe other Graveyard Hate, maybe Soul Guide Lanterns, or I know I have some of the like Unlicensed Hearst and Ghost Vacuum. I don't know where Ghost Vacuum is. Right here, Ghost Vacuum for Graveyard Hate. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the deck. This is my favorite thing to do in Modern right now is to cheat in equipment with Stoneforge Mystic. I hope you had fun and learned something today, and I will see you guys next time.